Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Motivational Call. No more hiding. This is me. Okay. I'm super excited you're here. And I want to thank you for being here and for choosing you as a priority. My name is Denise Dominguez, and I am a women's empowerment coach. I coach women on resolving unhealthy relationships so that they can live a life of freedom, joy, and abundance. I help women embrace who they really are so that she can be free to create the results that she desires in her life, business, and relationships. So how does it get any better than that? Tonight, I want you to just sit back and relax and take in as much information as possible. There is a replay on this that is on my YouTube channel, and I'll let you know about that after the call. And I'm just so glad that you're here, and we're going to be super interactive because that's how I like to do my calls. So, like I said, before I started recording, pull up that chat box because tonight I'm going to be asking questions, and that is where you can answer them. All right, let's do some house cleaning before we get started. This call is just for you, ladies, so make yourself a priority for the next 30 to 40 minutes. That means close out those other tabs on the computer, put your cell phone on silent, and just be here with me and just do you, because you deserve this time for you. Hopefully, you're in a relaxing place to listen to this call. I call it my sacred place. It's a place that I have just for me, and it has like my candles, and it's just like I call it my sacred place. And then have your glass of tea or your glass of water next to you. I have my tea over there. And so now, before we get started, let's just get in the present moment. So what I like to do is get in the, take a couple deep breaths. So what I'm going to do is I want you to inhale. And as you inhale, I want you to breathe in all of the love that you are, okay? Breathe in all the positivity. Breathe in anything that makes you feel good, makes you feel light. And as we exhale, I want you to exhale whatever doesn't serve you. So we could start with all the crap from today, right? All the negativity and anything that doesn't serve you. Okay, so you're going to inhale good and positive, and you're going to exhale negativity. All right, we're going to do 4. Ready? All right. Inhale love. Hold it. I'm going to exhale all of my computer problems from this week. All right. Inhale. And then hold it at the top. And try to take a sip. Hold it. Exhale all of the negativity. Inhale. So relaxing. One more time. Inhale. All the positivity and everything you're going to learn from this call tonight. And exhale everything that doesn't make you feel super high and super good. Okay, that was awesome. All right, so tonight's call, I'm going to do a little intro for those of you who don't know who I am. I hosted a radio show on Blog Talk called It's Your Turn Radio. And I did that for almost 2 years, and I am a speaker, and my signature speech is own your story so your story doesn't own you. And most recently, I am a 2-time best-selling author and international author, which I'm super proud of. That was this book right here that launched last year, A New Day Dawns, Breaking Up with Abuse. That I was just a chapter, a co-author. And this book actually catapulted me into what I really need to be talking about and who I really need to be talking about. So that book is super special to me. So But things weren't always this awesome in my life. And actually, after 22 years of being in a very toxic marriage, I decided it was time to leave. And I moved 3 states away with no job and managed to manifest $10,000 to leave the state of Florida and come here to North Carolina. And that's not even including the 10 days that I was in Colorado in between this move date and being in Florida. I was in Colorado for 10 days on vacation. First time I had ever been in Colorado. Loved it. I go there every year ever since then. And just an amazing time for me. A lot of growth in that short amount of time of me leaving that toxic marriage. And I did all this in just 5 months. I made a plan and followed it and did everything that I set out to do. And that's what brings me here tonight, talking to you about living a life that you don't even recognize anymore, right? How heavy is that? So no more hiding. There was a time when I was so miserable in my life that I cried myself to sleep nearly every night. I was living a life that I thought I was supposed to be living, right? Being married, stay married, no matter what, through thick and thin. And I was being the person that I thought that my parents wanted me to be. I was being the wife that I thought my husband wanted me to be. And, so on. But that didn't serve me at all. But here's the thing. I didn't even know I was living a lie. Well, okay. Maybe deep down I did, right? Because we all have that inclination. Something's not right. Something's not feeling, we're not happy. So who am I? Here's what I know. We all do this. We put on this mask of who we think we're supposed to be, right? We put up with way too much. We allow people to step all over us, and we allow our families and friends to talk to us in whatever way that they want to. Total disrespect sometimes, right? And that's not cool. I remember my sisters just being totally disrespectful to me, and I allowed them to talk to me like that, right? Because I was trying to be the peacemaker in the family. And the thing is that when you do that, you're giving them permission to step all over you. Whether you say it directly or not, that is the message that they're receiving. You're giving them permission. I had 0 boundaries in my relationships with my parents, with my sisters, with my ex-husband, 0 boundaries. So you have to have, you have to stand tall and stand up for yourself. And you have to have these boundaries with these people in your life. Okay, so now what? What do I do when I have this realization of what's going on? And you don't like it, or you feel like something is not right in your life, right? So now what? How to get to the core of who you are. So many women, and I'm seeing recently so many young women are apologizing and people pleasing, and so many women are having suicidal thoughts and already in such a young age, and they have young kids, and they have their whole life ahead of them, and I see from the outside that they're covering themselves up. So from the outside, what I see is, just like what we do, we put on this persona and we post things on Facebook, how great my life is and how happy things are and how wonderful my marriage is. But inside, these women are having suicidal thoughts, they're depressed, or they have anxiety. And this is not something that we're so easily willing to share with other people, especially strangers. Most importantly, the hardest part is to share that with ourselves. So for example, they're in a parent archetype of chubby bubby. So if you're my client, then you know what I'm talking about. I teach my clients the 3 archetypes: woman, parent, and child. And under parent, there's chubby bubby. And so chubby bubby is the woman who covers herself up with extra layers of weight. So they're just not who they really are. And if you're like this at a young age, holy crap, like unless you do something about it, it will only get worse. I promise it will only get worse, because the older you get, the more you realize about things. You realize about life and about yourself, right? Whether you get into personal growth or not, that just comes with age. That's the beauty of getting older. And if you're at the point when you're in your late 20s or early 30s and you're having suicidal thoughts, that's horrible. And that's not how you're supposed to live. Because truly, it is our birthright to experience happiness and prosperity. It really is. And depression and anxiety are, they're very close to me. I'm not a professional, so I just want to say this. I'm not an expert at depression and anxiety, but I've experienced it close to me. And I've even experienced attempted suicide. So these are things that I can talk about, but on the level of I can talk about what I've been through and what I've come out of. I'm not a doctor and I'm not an expert in these 2 topics at all. But I do know this: depression is a running story that you're playing in your subconscious mind. It's something that you're clinging to. It's something that you can't get over, and you may not even know that it's happening, right? You just have that feeling, something's not right, but I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. But it's there, and it's making you feel heavy. It's making you feel sad. It's making you feel that low vibrational, right? That low vibration. And you're like a slug. And every day you're just slugging along, right? You get up, you go to work, you do the daily routine, you come home, you start the routine after work, and then you live for the weekends, and then most of us prepare even on the weekends for the week, and it's just like one right after the other. It's just relentless, right? And you're just slugging along and getting through day by day, getting to the next morning and starting all over again. And that's no way to live, because it truly is our divine right, our birthright to experience happiness and prosperity. So anxiety, on the other hand, is all of the thoughts that you have for the future, all of the things that you think or society thinks that you should have accomplished by now. So here's a great example. My daughter has anxiety, and depression and anxiety go hand in hand. And she, I asked her one day, like, what is it what do you think about that brings on this anxiety? And so she's 24 years old, and she's like, Mom, by 24, I should be married. I should be having kids by now. So this is where the thoughts of the future come in, that we think that by a certain age, we're supposed to have this and we're supposed to have that, and we're not good enough, right? We're not worthy enough because we don't have what we think that we're supposed to have by a deadline. That's not true. It doesn't matter. And then another example is young moms getting everything done, right? Getting the kids to school, or the meetings, or dinner on the table by a certain time, or having the house clean, etc. And oh my God, are you working full time? Holy crap, you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. That's a lot of stuff to take care of. It's no wonder why you have anxiety. So you just need to slow down And that's why I always do those breaths in the beginning of our calls. Like, let's get into the present moment, right? And the present moment is this 10 seconds. So in this 10 seconds, you can state what you have. I am or I have. And just slow down, right? Dinner's going to get done. The house will get cleaned, right? It's not the end of the world. If we could just slow down. And I know this is easier said than done, but I'm going to give you some tools to practice this, because it really does having a changed mindset of thinking, you know what, that can wait. No big deal. I just went without my computer, which my life is on this thing, from Wednesday night to this morning. And it was actually pretty freeing to not have my computer. I mean, I still have my phone, but there's a very limited things that I can do on my phone versus my computer, and it actually felt pretty freeing. And it's 47 years old I am now. It's come to this time where I can finally go, you know what? I'm not going to stress over the computer. If I can't do my Monday night call, it's okay. They'll understand. I'm going to, enjoy the weekend, because we had a wedding to go to on Saturday. I'm just going to enjoy the weekend. I'm just going to take care of it on Monday, right? I'm not going to stress. It's okay. It's just a computer. It's no big deal. So no more hiding. This is me. All right. All right. So now let's get to having that fuck you attitude. That's right. You heard me. Have a fuck you attitude. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. And listen, if you don't like what you see, if you don't like it, I'm not going to sleep any different at night. Okay. This is, when I say this, I don't mean for you to go around and be meanful or spiteful. I just mean for you to not be so involved and care so much about what other people think and what other people think about you, and just have like a screw you. Like, this is me. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. It's not going to change who I am. It's not going to change how I feel if you like me or if you don't like me, right? That's what I mean by a fuck you attitude. And then start loving all of the parts of you. And not just the ones that we post on Facebook, right? Not just the ones that you talk about to your friends and your family, right? I graduated from college and I have an MBA, and look at my beautiful house, or look at the car I'm driving. Okay, those are easy. Those are the easy parts of you to love. The parts of you, those are your shining parts. Yes, love those, of course. But in order for you to really know who you are and love who you are, you have to love all of who you are. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you have parts of you that are too, that are too ashamed to talk about or even to admit to yourself, that's a big one. Because how can you share something with somebody else if you can't even admit it to yourself? And there's things that have happened to us, experiences that we've gone through, that we take on that blame or that shame and then hold that guilt. And it honestly doesn't even make sense, because it's not ours to carry. All right. So admitting to yourself, that's a starting point. Having a conversation with yourself and just really diving in deep with yourself. Things that you are ashamed of or you feel guilty for. All right. So you could start by asking yourself, like, what am I ashamed of? What did I do that was so bad? And who am I blaming? And is it really that bad? Because it's really not. And so I'll give myself as an example. When I started to tell my story, I cried. Like, I was just so resistant into telling what happened. And it was my mentor who told me, Denise, if you're going to help other women, you have to first be able to talk about this. You have to be able to, and I call it emotional poison. You have to release that emotional poison. And so I remember typing out, and with shaking hands, here I go. I had to do it. I was pushed to do it. And that was such a gift, because once I released that emotional poison, it got easier for me to talk about it in the next time, right? Because prior to that, I just held it in. And if I cried, I just, stop and just think about something else or do something else and just avoided it altogether. But once I released that emotional poison, it got easier for me to talk about what happened. A little bit easier, less tears, less crying, less charge, right? So then it came to, the more I talked about it, the easier it got. And now I stand on stage and I talk about owning my story. And I give the audience jaw-dropping facts about what happened to me. Things that you wouldn't think that could happen to a woman, a person, but they did. And now there's no charge. There's no emotional charge to it. So that is what part of, having that fuck you attitude is, just, hey, this is what it is. I love me. I love all of me. Yes, I've been through X, Y, and Z, but that is my journey. That is a part of who I am. That has made me into the person that I am. It doesn't define me, but my experiences and my journey has definitely made me to who I am. And how beautiful is that? All right. So be authentic, be who you are. This is so important. Don't apologize for who you are. Okay, if you're quirky or nerdy or weird, yay, embrace that part of you. Love that part of you. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you the only person in the world with that name combined with that hair color, or those eyes, or your features, and your journey in life, right? There's no one out there that is the same as you. Similar maybe, but not the same. So don't be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being like everyone else. Bam! That's a good one. I wish I could say I made it up. All right, so let's go into people pleasing, because OMG, hello, I know I was a big time people pleaser, and yeah, it didn't serve me, and it doesn't serve anybody, because when you're people pleasing, you're not putting yourself first and making yourself a priority. So you don't owe anyone anything. That's number one. You don't owe anyone anything. Like anyone. Anyone. So stop saying yes when you mean no. And stop saying no when you mean yes. I'm seeing younger women trapped in this cycle of people pleasing. And this will lead to people stepping all over you. Like your family, your friends, people at work, everyone. Because once they get wind of, I'll just load all my work onto her. She won't say no, right? Or family, just give it to Denise. She'll take care of it. Okay, so is that who you really are? That person who takes on everybody's crap and just says yes when you mean no and no when you mean yes? And what about you? Right? What about your needs? What about your wants? What about your desires? Do they count? Because if you don't make them a priority for you, nobody else is going to make it a priority. I promise you, this is how it goes. So if you put yourself on the back burner or put yourself last, then that's how other people are going to treat you, because that's how you treat yourself. So you know, it's always about everyone else and you aren't even on the scale, right? So just say no or yes, but whatever you say, mean it. And that's also being authentic and staying true to you. Say what you mean. You can say it in a nice way. You can say it without insulting people. And you know what? If they do get insulted, that's on them. Because if you came from a place of not trying to insult anybody and that person took it to be insulted, then that's on them. And that's their personal crap, which leads us to don't take things personal. Wow. Okay. This is a big one. I see so many people, and I did it too. Everything that I'm talking about, I experienced this too. So that's why I can talk about it so freely. All right. So don't take things personal. It's never about you anyway. It's about them. Okay. So let me give you an example. If somebody comes up to you and says, "You are stupid," what would you think? Would you think I'm stupid because a total stranger just said I was? Or would you think the stranger is having a bad day and needed to release his emotional poison onto someone and I was there? Right? It's all about perspective, how you look at things. So when somebody spews their emotional poison onto you, that is about that person. It is not about you. And I don't care what they're saying to you. I don't care if they're saying, "You're stupid, you're effing this," or you're a whore, or you're a this, or you're a that. I don't care what they're saying to you. It is not about you. It is about them. And they are literally squeezing out their emotional poison. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Walk away from that person. Don't take what they're saying, but don't take it personal. Okay? So, summary of tonight's call. Okay, so now we've talked about and learned about how to stop hiding. Who am I? Oh, my foot fell asleep. How to get to the core of who we really are. It is our birthright to experience happiness and prosperity. We talked about depression and anxiety. How to have a fuck you attitude. Be authentic, be who you are. Stop pleasing people. Don't take things personal. All right, we covered all that already in 29 minutes. Okay, all right, Denise, so where's the tools, right? That's what you said you were going to give us, right? Maybe you're thinking that. All right, so give it to me. I'm ready to stop hiding and show the world who I really am. So if this is you, then here it is. I'm going to give it to you. So the first thing, before you do any of the tools that I start to give you, the first thing that you need to do is have the awareness of what's really going on. Pay close attention to what your thoughts are and how your body feels. Okay, this is something that I teach my clients. And it's an awesome, incredible tool. It's called Light versus Heavy. So let's say, I don't know, you're at Starbucks and you meet this guy and he starts talking to you and he says, he starts talking to you and he asks you out on a date or whatever, and you get this feeling inside of you like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not feeling this guy. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. That is a heavy feeling. That is, your body is telling you something, right? That's your gut. That's your intuition. Go with that. Follow that. If you feel like, I don't know, but nah, not interested. Doesn't matter what the reason is. Stay away. Don't go on the date, right? Now, let's go to the opposite. Now, if you're into this guy is Starbucks, you meet him and he's talking to you and you're like, kitty, then go with that. That's your light feeling. All right. This guides you through life, light and heavy. Follow it. The thing is in life that we get so bogged down with life that we don't pay attention to ourselves. We don't pay attention to how our body feels, what our body is saying. We don't pay attention to, light and heavy. It's always there. It's always there, right? Choose 2 restaurants where you want to eat, right? Which one feels light and which one feels heavy? If you get excited because you want sushi, you're like, yeah, sushi. And then you're like, steak, nah, I'm not feeling it. There you go. That's light and heavy. So just keep following that. Okay, slow down. Ladies, slow down. Take it slow. It's not that important, okay? We go through life and we're just rush. And we're just quick. I don't even talk quick. And it's just like, we're just so, just slow down. Take some time for you. There's always time for you to take for you, okay? Even if you have kids, even if you have a tight schedule, I know there's always time for you. There's time in the morning before the kids wake up that you could be taking, even if it's 5-10 minutes, that you could just be sitting in silence, or you could just be having your favorite cup of tea or cup of coffee. You could be reading your favorite book. You could be doing something that's for you, that makes you happy. The end of the day, maybe when the kids are sleeping, there's Sunday. Usually Sundays are very, it's a wind down type of energy on Sunday. There's always time. Driving, when you're driving by yourself, you could listen to your favorite book, put in something that is motivational for you, or something with personal growth, whatever. There's always time for you, all right? Start saying yes or no with equal grace and ease. Start saying yes or no with equal grace and ease. Get into the habit of saying what you mean. Yes, I'd like to go to that party. No, I don't want to go to that party, right? Yes, I'll go have coffee with you. No, I don't want to go and have coffee with you. You don't even need to give an excuse. Just say no. It's a whole sentence. All right. So don't take things personal. Know that it is their emotional poison being spewed onto you. Okay? And like I said, no matter what it is they're saying, all right, it's about them. It's not about you. Okay, so that's it. That now you can go out there and do all of this on your own, or we can do this together. I have a 6-month course coming up at the end of February that will help guide you into this level of confidence and healing that my clients reach in such a short amount of time. It's insurmountable. So this is a sisterhood of women all healing together. We as a group all tackle where our emotional poison is and start the healing process. We start with reading 2 books, and we meet every other week in our groups. So here's what some of my clients are saying about the program. All right, so I just got a text from one of my clients saying that it was okay. That's why I was looking at my phone. I wanted to make sure. I'm not going to say her name, but I have mad respect for my clients. So here's one of the testimonies, and this was very recent this week. She said, I did not cry writing that letter. I have shed rivers of tears about my miserable childhood, and I am done with that. Surprisingly, I am crying now as I read the comments coming in. My fears were unwarranted, and the love I am receiving right now was worth the risk of telling my story. I feel safe and no longer burdened with the shame and secrets that were not mine to carry to anyway. I love you, Denise, and all. So that's one very recent one. Here's another one. I unexpectedly received an apology for something that happened 18 years ago. I'm not sure what amazed me more, the fact that the situation did not bring up all the old emotions associated with it, or the incredible feeling of peace I experienced. It was like another demon was exorcised that I didn't realize still impacted my life. The second thing that happened was that my ex publicly acknowledged his relationship with the woman he's been living with for the last 6 months. It was interesting to clearly see the manipulation on his part. He did it on her birthday after denying her attempts on social media about acknowledging it. The best part was the feeling of peace I experienced. I don't know why it felt so good, but it did. And I totally embraced it. Another demon vanished. Good group of women that want to connect with other women who get it. Thanks so much. It was very helpful. Your coaching approach really inspired me to start to self-reflect, and try to adjust it and apply to my real life with the help of your coaching course. Last one. Denise is very professional, right on point, a sharp coach who identified my archetype quickly, which I did not realize myself even. She spent the whole session patiently to help me out. So the archetypes is what I teach my clients, how we're showing up in the world energetically. And once you get that, then you start to put the pieces of life together. So I do specialize in narcissistic abuse healing. That's my specialty. I have 22 years experience in that department. So I want to open up the lines now to see if anybody has any questions or comments or anything that they would like to ask or talk about. The lines are open. Don't be shy. I heard that. I know someone has something to say. You want me to coach you into saying it? Okay, so I'll start. I want to make sure that everybody got what, I set out for the call. Did you receive, no more hiding, this is me? Did you receive the tools to not hiding anymore? Did you get that? Okay, cool. All right, so if you're on this call, that means that you're going through life covering up your self, right? You've taken on the layers and the crap of life, and you've taken it on as your truth. So I always open myself to 90-minute coaching calls. I will take any first-time connections. I do 90-minute coaching calls. They're absolutely free. And I do that because it takes an hour and a half for me to get to know you, you to get to know me, and for us to get to the core of what's going on. So in that 90-minute call, I get down to the archetype of how you're showing up and why you're attracting what you're attracting into your life. And I will do a trigger exercise with you, and then I'll do a healing piece in this 90 minutes. So if you're open to that, you can connect with me, and I can give you a link, and you can schedule that if you want more of a private session. And, the thing is that vulnerability, which I know, I get it, because I was very shy and didn't want to speak my truth and tell anybody and what's going on. But vulnerability is an act of self-love. So when you put yourself out there, again, if anybody judges you or rejects you, that is about them. It's not about you. So it's okay to be vulnerable, because now you've shared a piece of you, and that is for you. That's not for anybody else. We don't do it for somebody else. We do it for us. So just know that we're always so quick to make up a story in our head that, oh my gosh, if I say something on the call, then they're going to think I'm this, or they're going to think I'm that, or maybe it's stupid, or maybe I shouldn't say that. Not true. And that's why I do the group coaching. So I don't want to keep talking. Does anybody have anything to say? I feel like I'm rambling. No? All right. So now I'll end the call if we're good. I just want to make sure everybody got what they came for. That is my, and let me see, hold on one second and I will get that link. I'll put it in the chat box. You can copy and paste it. If you want to jump on the call with me and do a 90-minute coaching call. Hold on one second. I'll log in. Okay. Here we go. So I'm putting it in the chat. There you go. You can copy and paste it and schedule a call with me. Like I said, 90 minutes private coaching. And I will get to the core of how you're showing up in the world and why you're attracting what you're attracting. Because once you know that and have that piece, you just start putting, like, literally putting the pieces. And yes, I specialize in narcissistic abuse healing. And, you know, confidence and all the stuff that I talked about tonight is what I teach my clients, what I teach my coaches, and so much more. So schedule a call with me. And I hope you're on every call Monday. I do these Monday motivational calls. So next Monday, same time, 7 o'clock. I'm probably going to start talking about single for the holidays because I know that's a big one. Because I know even when I was married, I was single, you know, go to the parties by yourself. Anyway, so I'll probably do that next since we're getting super close to the holidays. All right. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for choosing you as a priority. I love you, Regina. All right, ladies, have a great night. I'll see you next time. Bye.